you looking at, nerd? Huh?
So let's talk about that too. Let's talk about the positive side of some of this stuff, and that's what's the potential for GameStop now?
A lot.
So
a lot.
Exactly. So what you can have is people that want to back GameStop out of spite, which could in fact partially save GameStop. The whole short squeeze was built around, all it needed was a catalyst. All it needed was, this is so heavily shorted, we just need one sliver of good news. And it came with Ryan Cohen. When Ryan Cohen bought in the company, who's a heavy e-commerce guy, that was enough to push it. And you still can't take away that fact from GameStop. They're closing stores that are actively taking away money from other stores. So they take 2 stores in a certain radius and they go, okay, which one's selling better? Okay, the other one gets closed. They're closing down. The company has had more money in their pocket than debt, which is hard to say about a lot of companies. So GameStop is liquid in its own. It can pay all of its debts off.
And it's even more amazing what you just said, because that wasn't the case literally a year ago when we did that podcast. In 2019, I think it was like $60 million in debt. It was insane. It was huge. And now for them to be in the red or out of the red, in the green, whatever, you're right. It's very impressive.
Yeah, and it's exciting to see because I shit on GameStop a lot, man. If you go listen to the GameStop podcast, I shit on them, man. Like,
because they weren't moving forward. Literally, the reason what happened it coincides with what you're talking about. Because you were mad because they weren't moving forward, and now they are moving forward, and that makes you excited, and that is a big part of why even you put your money into it. You weren't like, let me fuck these hedge funds over. It was an investment into the company. You also made some money out of it.
Fuck over the hedge funds,
but mostly to fuck over those greasy ball hedge fund bastards.
Yeah, man, and it's exciting to see. I hope in the end that the stock sits above $4, which is what it sat at last year. I hope it sits around $10 to $15 a share, which is right around where it deserves to be. And I hope they start making a strong e-commerce company. Like, they can shut down stores, like we talked about, make them into local hangouts. And that's what they're talking about doing, building a PC there. Going there and you have an interactive tutorial on how to build a PC. How fucking exciting is that? That's not done yet. It's not happening. And you can do all this e-commerce stuff. You can do loot boxes. You can do cool stuff with this that can make money. And people after this are going to start appreciating GameStop a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely got a lot of rep. And also, I think the big part of this, too, is... So the people that got involved with this were nerds. They weren't a bunch of people outside. Yeah, there was. I'm not saying there wasn't people like just taking their friends' advice and jumping in on it and stuff. But a lot of it was nerds.
Those guys lost a lot of money.
And that's my point. This is my point. So, like, the nerds are the ones that were on top of it to the T, and those are the ones moving the money correct. But the moms and the pops and the jocks and the not to say nerds can't be jocks. I didn't want to put that. But I'm like, the guys who listen to their friends of a friend's opinion of the matter, those are the guys who lost money on it. I feel bad for them, especially if they put their rent in that motherfucker. But it is interesting to see the nerd revolution of, like, the guys at their who weren't able to work. You put them out of work, and they have the little money that they have, and they're like, how can I make this fucking work? They made it work for them. They made some money, and you have giant companies coming in to steal that money back from them. It's insane. But going back to what you said, the positive of this and moving forward into what GameStop is supposed to be, I'm hoping that GameStop implements some of the stuff that we were even talking about as far as like maybe a gaming corner, more of a testing of games, and more GameStop exclusives, more exclusive skins, exclusive figures, all that kind of stuff.
Warhammer. Partner with Games Workshop.
And that's what I mean with a game corner. I don't mean like you sit in a corner and game. I'm talking about miniatures. You go play a card game. You play Magic the Gathering, Pokemon.
A franchise nationwide gaming location.
What you just said was huge. The franchise part of it. So like there's a lot of places in the middle of the country that might have a GameStop, but that's it. That's the only nerd world that they have available to them because there's not enough sustainability. Well, maybe if GameStop opened that world up a little bit more, you'd be surprised that in the middle of these nowhere towns, you have guys that want to play Magic the Gathering, guys or girls that want to play Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or something like that. And it's a whole, you could rent the room out or some shit. I really don't know but if people go there, they're going to buy cards. You sell cards there, they're going to buy cards there. Have a place for them to play. And they already sell the cards there. I think that they should do something like that, and I really hope they do. Make it more of what you said, a hangout spot. Make it a cool place to be, and you're going to make a lot more business off that. So I'm excited for GameStop, for sure.
How busy is it right now? I mean, you're in a GameStop right now.
Well, there's only this one lady right here, and she really hasn't moved the entire podcast. So maybe she's lost in a conversation or something like that, but she could just be in awe of what we're saying as well. Just total stunned.
So wait, we're turning around. I don't know why she doesn't have a mask on. That's what's really
that's
me.
I've been worried about. I don't have a mask on either though, so I
shit.
I fucking don't care anymore, bro. I don't care.
I hope it turns around for the better. I hope the e-commerce side picks up. I'm really interested to see some creativity out of Cohen to see maybe what can happen to the e-commerce side of GameStop. You don't drop basically what the man's fortune is into a stock to do a hostile takeover of a company if you don't have an idea of how you can make it for the better. And I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. I'm betting you're going to start seeing GameStop become the center of the esports world. Maybe not the center, but maybe a stronghold in the esports world and sponsoring tournaments and doing. They don't even have a
team. They don't even have a team yet, which is.
I'm not even talking about doing teams.
No,
I'm talking about.
I'm not going against
events.
You. I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you. I was I had something to tag on. Like they don't even have a team yet. They need to jump on that shit, get a team, sponsor a team, and become what you just said, the center. ESPN's grabbing it. Don't let ESPN have that shit. It's fucking be a part of that world, GameStop. How are you fucking letting that drop from your hands? It's insane.
Could you imagine an app on your Roku or your Fire Stick or your Apple TV that's a GameStop app streaming service, and all it is based around is tutorials, how to get better at a game, competitive gameplay, esports, streamers. I mean,
how many people buy
that could be a move, right?
How many people buy their GameStop Power Up magazine and read it? Nobody. Well, what if you digitize it and made it a part of
right now?
It is digitized?
It's
okay,
an email
well then,
version now.
Well, that's kind of lame.
If you pay $20 a month, you get the physical copy. If you pay $15, it's the digital.
I like where you were headed with it, which is like the app, where like I'm sitting on the toilet and I could just flip through it like an app, like a comic book, and because all you have to do is look at the other comic book apps that they have, and that's a really cool thing. They should just implement that into GameStop as well. So there's a lot of this stuff we should be put on the board of directors.
Probably not.
I put in our applications.
I've got 3 shares still. Give me a call. I'm kind of a part of the company.